Welcome to Wellness, Honey. I'm Valencia, a holistic healer, life coach, wellness consultant, energy healer for sensitives, intuitives, mystics, um, artists, creatives, people who have a real strong connection to the environment, to people, to places, and the things that's around them. And the way I help them is with my partner, Alden, the other half of Wellness Honey. And we do this in our program called Manifest You. It's a program geared towards helping sensitives to develop, heal, and manifest. A lot of times, sensitives find themselves in situations where they're constantly pouring into other people and doing things for other people and neglecting themselves, not spending enough time understanding themselves and loving themselves. And it can manifest as anxiety, depression, being overweight, having health issues and health conditions, and not being able to focus on getting the things that they truly want out of life because they're always focused on helping other people, and they feel this extreme call to help other people, but they don't know how to help themselves, and they get so lost in what other people want and other people's desires that they lose focus on who they are sometimes and what they really want. And in our program, we help them get back to them. We help them get back to who they are and what they desire. And we do that through teaching them how to work with the energy, work with their perspectives, their mindsets, work with their emotions, work with their spirituality, and help them work with their physical body, with their wellness and their health, and how they can take care of themselves and how they can understand the mind-body energy connection, and how they can use this connection to heal, develop, and manifest their deepest desires. Not from constantly feeling other people's deepest desires for their lives and them trying to live into that, really standing up for themselves and getting deep into their own desires and what they really want, and making decisions from that, and being strong in that, in that knowing of who they are, and embracing their sensitivities and embracing the gifts that comes along with these sensitivities, and using these gifts to fulfill their legacy while they're here on this earth. It's a very beautiful experience, I can say so myself. Just following the program on my own for myself has changed my life tremendously, and all I want to do is just help other people get this sense of peace and fulfillment in everyday life, of just constantly loving themselves and loving other people and standing up for themselves, being true to themselves, and just constantly breaking through barriers that they put in front of themselves and that other people put in front of them, and constantly challenging themselves to rise above it. If you're interested in that and you feel like this resonates with you, like you really want to live a purpose-filled life, being 100% yourself, then visit our website at www.wellnesshoney.com and book a discovery call, and let's see how we can work together. So today we will be talking about the new moon in Capricorn, and what that means for your life, and what can you expect, and how can you use this new moon to really get deep and with yourself, and use the Capricorn energy to manifest your best year yet. So first off, what is a new moon? A new moon is when the sun and the moon is conjunct, and it's in the shadow side of the earth is what we see. Wait, the shadow side of the moon is what we see here on earth. And when the moon is new, it's the sky is so dark. It's almost like this quiet time, and it's reflective in within us that the new moon side of ourselves, the shadow side of ourselves, that really speaks when it's complete darkness. You get to see your inside world clearer. And during the new moon phase, it's about gaining awareness to what you truly want for your life, and gaining and awakening parts of ourselves that we hide, that we feel ashamed of, or that we feel we're not aligned with, that we feel is it's hard for us to connect with, parts of ourselves that we forgot because we've suppressed it for so long, either because other people told us this was a part of ourselves that they didn't like and that it was a negative quality, or through our own just growing up and just realizing that, you know, we didn't know how to deal with that. We begin to get other interests, and we meet all these changes, and we change so much that we really forgot the side of ourselves that, you know, that really is who we are, trying to chase images of ourselves. Also, it's the side of ourselves that feel wounded and hurt a lot of the times because we're constantly either trying to please other people or live in images that we've created for ourselves that's really not aligned with who we are, and just constantly wanting stuff to fulfill ourselves instead of just focusing on ourselves. So with the new moon, we spend time really awakening a part of ourselves that that needs to heal. And that we can also, by healing it, we can also use it to help us develop newer aspects of ourselves. And when we develop these newer aspects of ourselves, we're able to manifest from a place of complete and wholeness. Because we're taking into account our shadow side of ourselves, the side of ourselves that we usually neglect. And so during this time, we gain awareness to, you know, like things in our lives that's just not really aligned, or we kind of sensing that's not aligned with who we are, and we kind of want to see it, because sometimes we don't always see what's going on with us. We just can kind of sense that something is kind of off, and sometimes we can't always put words to it. So during that new moon, it's about setting an intention to put words to these feelings that we're feeling, and this kind of awareness that we're sensing that's coming about, that's emerging about ourselves and about our surroundings and our environment. And then we also take this time to figure out what we're manifesting. Manifesting simply means just making apparent. From awareness, you manifest. You try to make this awareness become clear as day in your world. It shows up, and then from that manifestation, you want to begin. You know, you can begin to anticipate what could kind of keep you not being aligned with who you really are. And you can kind of anticipate what you can do to kind of combat that. And from that, you can set a very powerful intention for your life and for yourself that you can follow and help you to kind of guide your emotions. And so we do this in our course, Moon Magic Manifest. If you're interested in learning more about the moon phases and how we use them to self-develop, go to our website, schedule a discovery call, and let's talk about how we utilize this course in our program and how we can help you. So now let's talk about Capricorn. I did a video on the Capricorn season. If you can go check that out, it's called Capricorn season. It's really good if you want to get some more ideas of what the Capricorn energy is, and kind of like what does it mean for your life. Check out that video. But just to get some ideas of the Capricorn energy is very determined. It's very diligent. The Capricorn energy is very caring. It's very dedicated to achieving and accomplishing our visions for our lives. And visions is what's given to us. And it's this feeling that we're constantly following to create life from. We create life from this vision. And so the Capricorn energy is about legacy. What are you building on this earth? You know, what are you building during this time? And what would you like to be known for when you're no longer here? Um, and what would you like to be known for while you're here? You know, that's one of the greatest things, is to be able to be known for and achieve a sense of legacy while you're here on this earth before you pass, and other people decide what your legacy was. But when you have control and you let people know this is my legacy, and you know what your legacy was, it's a beautiful thing. And that's when you're constantly feeling a sense of fulfillment. So the legacy is fulfillment. It all leads back to what fulfills you, what lights you up. How do you feel when you're doing what you're doing? How grateful are you when you're doing what you're doing? So with this new moon in Capricorn, it awakens the shadow side of ourselves that keep us from accomplishing what we want because we're not paying attention to it. And it's usually our fears and our worries, and it keeps us going, chasing our accomplishments so that we can feel fulfilled. And that usually when our what we want is not aligned with the vision for our lives, this new moon in Capricorn will kind of bring that up, you know, and let us know that the things that you're doing isn't really aligned with this vision, and you're just working so hard at it, and you're wondering why you're never satisfied, and you're not feeling fulfilled, and you're not feeling like you're really making headway in your life. So this new moon in Capricorn can awaken this side of yourself that you've kind of been neglecting, this achievement, this goal that you have, that you kind of feel either fearful like you can't achieve it, and that maybe you feel like the goal isn't aligned with who you are, and because you can't see it happening. And maybe you just forgot about it. It could have been a goal that you set long ago when you were a kid, and life has happened and you just forgot that this is what you really wanted. So for instance, you could be on the road to be a doctor, but deep down inside of you, you really you want to be a carpenter, or you want to be an architect, but everybody in your family is a doctor, and everybody wants you to be a doctor, but deep down inside, that's not what you really want to do. But you've been doing it for so long, but you don't even feel like really connected to it. It just feels like I've worked this hard for it, so I need to just keep going. And Capricorn is like, but is that really fulfilling you? Is that what you want your legacy to be? You see? Do you want your legacy to be, I didn't actually fulfill myself. I wasn't actually feeling fulfilled with the things that I was doing in this life. Do you want that to be your legacy? Those kind of thoughts are going to come up for this new moon in Capricorn. All right, I just pulled 3 cards. I pulled 3 cards from the deck. They actually just popped out, to be honest with you. So I'm feeling like these are great topics to talk about. And so we're dealing with the Ace. We're dealing with the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is about new beginnings. And the new beginnings specifically dealing with the spiritual self. The Wands deal with our spiritual side, our motivation, what inspires us, what keeps us going when things get tough, what moves us, right? So there's this new spirit that's merging inside of you that wants to come through, and it wants to spark you into going into another direction, and this in itself can be so, and this in itself can be kind of scary, you know, because of all the hard work that you've been putting in on this particular thing. It's almost like hard to want to let it go. It's like I've been doing all of this, building up all of this, and putting so much physical energy. The physical the physical. The pentacles, the coins, they represent our physical self, our physical reality at the material plane. And so all of the physical energy that we put into things, and it's a project that you've been putting a lot of time and energy into, and it's really not it's not really giving you fulfillment in life, but you've done it for so long that it's almost like, why give it up? Why let this go? And I put so much work into this, so much effort, and if I let it go, then it's kind of like, who am I, you know? And then going into the new direction is like you have to give up what you've been going into this new spiritual direction. You have to give up whatever it is you've been working on so hard, and it's really gonna feel like this sense of loss, the sense of what's going on, like dissatisfaction, and it's like so much so you don't even see, like you see the emotions. The cups represents our emotional self. So emotionally, you're lost. The Five of Cups, it's like you've lost 3 cups, but it's almost like you can't see or appreciate the 2 cups that's still standing, because you're so busy focused on what was lost, of being forced into things, and having to move out of your comfort zone. Shake-ups, loss of houses, loss of money, loss of jobs, loss of family members, loss of just mindsets, mind frames, loss of emotions, loss of something that used to bring you so much joy. It could have been a false sense of joy, right? It could have been, but now it's like you lost that, and it's a call to kind of focus on these new cups. So you have to allow yourself to grieve. I think that's what's important about the Capricorn energy and the new moon, is like when this shadow self come up, where it's revealing, like where it's feeling hurt, that that and neglected, that you haven't been paying attention to some aspect of yourself in your life, and it's calling you to let go of whatever it is that's keeping you from focusing on it. And so it's telling you, it wants to tell you its fears. It wants to tell you why it's worried, and so that you can make decisions from this place of wholeness, this place of revival. Why would I want to say revival? Because that's revival came up from. It's like it wants to revive you. It wants to give you a new spirit, a new reason to do what you're doing. And that could just be as simple as that. Sometimes we don't always have to give up what we're doing, but we need to take a pause to sit with ourselves and see why it's worried, because that's what it feels like. There with this is some grief, it's some loss, it's worried. I feel like worried about what you didn't get, what you lost, that you can't see. You can't see what's ahead of you. But I kind of feel like, honestly, you can't see what's behind you. Like I kind of feel like that's what it is, because I feel like looking this way is looking forward to the future, and seeing what was lost, or what will be lost if you give up what you've been working on so hard. What would be lost that you can't see all the effort? It was almost like, what was this for? I put on all of this work, did all of these things, and the spirit is calling you to go in another direction. You can feel it, and you're like, but I did all of these things, I built all of this stuff, and you want to tell me, like, spirit, you want me just to like let it go? And so you can't focus, like, then it's like, if I let this go, then I won't get whatever image I have. I won't get this emotional satisfaction that I have been putting off till I get this thing. Because a lot of the times we put off our happiness and our joy for something in the future. And it's kind of like, spirit is like, All right, so we're gonna go ahead and switch direction, but you'll be like, wait, but I've been so dissatisfied for so long holding off for this thing, and now you're telling me I can't go for this thing? It's kind of like that. And it's like, I've done all of this for what? For nothing? And it's like, Spirit is like, but look behind you. Look what was built. You know, so taking this time to really sit with what was built for this new moon is very important. Not getting caught up with worrying about what you're not gonna get if you follow this new passion, this new spirit. So focus on so for this new moon, really just sit. Don't really focus on trying to take any actions. Just let what's coming come through. Let your shadow self speak. Like, if you're feeling like you need to cry, let that out. Let cry. You know, sometimes with the Capricorn energy, I think some Capricorns find it hard to be emotional and be vulnerable. And we all have this Capricorn energy in us, and sometimes even the most sensitive person will find it hard to want to be vulnerable and to want to be honest with themselves and with the people around them, and to just cry and let it all out and let out all the frustrations. And I feel like that with this new moon, it's going to be feeling like emotional, and you need to physically let go. You need to physically cry, you know. You need to physically just let out. Sometimes it could even be anger. It's like, don't hold in your expressions anymore. Just let them out so that you can share your song. Frequency of sound, deep diving. It's like share. It's like when we cry, we make these noises and and honestly, that is very therapeutic, to cry, to hear yourself cry. You know, to experience it. It's something to just allow yourself to grieve, like this image that you know, this image of what you thought that what you was building all of this for, just like grieving it, because there's a call for you to move forward and do something else. So just grieve what is being lost. Grieve what Beyonce has a song called The Best Thing I Never Had. It's kind of like that. That's the best thing. This image is the best thing you never had. And it's kind of like, you know, just grieve it and be okay with the loss, and feel like, you know, everything's going to be all right, and just love yourself. Let go of the image of what you feel like your legacy is, and go with this new spirit that's emerging inside of you, that's really trying to reveal what your legacy is. And so this right here, oh, it's 2 cards. Okay, so it's the ever unfolding rose cracked open is happening for you, not to you. You may be feeling like the world is against you, that this spirit that's calling you to move into another direction is like really upsetting you, because it's upsetting the foundation that you've built, and it's like, you know, really resistance towards it, and you just feeling like nothing is working out, and it's almost like, you know, everything is happening to you, not realizing that all of this is happening for you. All of this is for your betterment, and you have to just trust in your divineness. You have to trust in that spirit that's leading you into greener pastures, and sit by the still waters. I'm saying, and you know, I actually that brought that to me, songs. I'm gonna read this scripture. I know some people aren't really into scriptures, but I find that scripture, I'm not a religious person. I don't have a religion, but I do find value in the Bible and in scripture. Okay, so for you who's feeling like that life is cracking you open, and that life is being unfair to you right now, and that you're losing so much stuff that you've built, and I'm going to read this for you. This is for you. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I think that that's beautiful, and I think it's really in alignment with this reading for the new moon in Capricorn. It's like having that trust and that faith, and just allowing yourself to grieve, but just know that don't stay in it for too long. And also, it says, keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors beside you. It's all you have to do is call on your spirit guides. You're not alone in this. And maybe you feel like no one understands what you're going through. No one gets you. You can't rely on anybody else. It's finding like that connection with God and your spirit ancestors, your whatever you believe in, going back to your source, whatever that is, and really relishing and reconnecting with that energy. It's going to heal you, and it's going to allow you to see the vision, and then it'll be so much easier to let go of the image and just feel and really see the bigger plan. And in order to do that, you have to lie down in greener pastures. It's time for relaxation, and I feel that it's time for meditation. And then it says and he leads me besides the quiet waters. I feel like taking a bath and just sitting in meditation and revitalizing yourself with some beautiful bath salts and some incense and some soft meditation music, and just allow yourself to just connect back with the deepest parts of yourself, so that you can understand what your real legacy is. And it's not even so much about your physical legacy. It's about how you feel in each and every moment, and how you're handling and how you're trusting that connection with something bigger, and how that's guiding you to create this beautiful life for yourself, this beautiful legacy. And so I think we're gonna pull a card from the Goddess deck to kind of just solidify this message, how you can heal this new moon in Capricorn. Kind of more talking about how you can heal. I've already kind of mentioned some ways. It's taking a nice bath and trusting and allowing your spirit to allowing your shadow self to come through and talk to you and reveal to you its worries. Another way would be journaling and lighting a candle, so that you can set some powerful intentions, or that you can build upon, and just resting yourself. The new moon is really great for resting and really checking in with yourself. So let's see. Oh, okay. So we have compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others, and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. I think that's how you heal. I think that's a perfect card to express how you heal yourself, how you can spend time healing yourself this new moon, is by having compassion for yourself and releasing the judgments about yourself, what you've accomplished thus far, and and how you're dealing with these changes. Sometimes we like to get hard on ourselves, like this should be easy. I should be used to change, or I don't want to feel worry. I don't want to feel anger, and I don't want to feel upset. I just want to be all right. And sometimes it's like we get stuck with this just wanting to be all right, and that we don't have compassion for ourselves. It's like we always like kind of like almost beating up on ourselves about feeling sad that we're not getting what we wanted, because it's like almost like we just feel like we're just supposed to be some kind of like perfect person, like nothing's supposed to ever bother us, and that if we're upset and that we're sad that we're losing something, it's kind of like a bad thing, because we're supposed to just be these peaceful individuals who just go with the flow, like we're some kind of robots. But no, I think releasing judgments about how you're processing this is very important, this new moon in Capricorn. That's all part of the process. That if you're upset, acknowledge that you're upset. It's okay. That's the first step. Like that's how you heal your shadow self, And that's how you become one with your shadow self. That's how you learn to develop yourself from your shadow self, and how you can manifest from your shadow self. We manifest in the darkness. That's when we manifest. That's when we put in our petitions. And that's when our petitions are heard, in the darkness, in the solitude, in the quietness of ourselves. I just feel it. I just feel this new moon so deeply. And we do new moon rituals every month, along with full moon rituals in our program, and where we help our clients energetically help them release things that's keeping them from being their best selves. It goes hand in hand with the Moon Magic Manifest, and it's all about releasing things that could be hindering you, or things that you have been hiding within yourself. It's like detaching yourself from the emotions. And that's what the Moon Magic Manifest help you do, is to detach yourself from the emotion, then integrate you back into the emotion, detach, integrate, detach. So you're in a constant process of seeing and looking at it and witnessing it, to actually experiencing it and feeling it. We help our clients to release and to manifest and awaken and create this process of it, because all of these things is always within us. When you get so good at it and you use the moon cycle to practice this, in each moment you can set aside of yourself that awakens a part of yourself that you've forgotten. Awaken it, and in the same moment you can release things that aren't beneficial to you in each and every moment. That's the point of working with the moon cycle, is to help you create this flow and awareness of yourself that is so conscious and is so embedded in and connected to your conscious awareness, that you're able to shift between it whenever you feel like it. That's what it's about, being an awakened soul. It's not being trapped or confined by our emotions, but to work with them, to see them for what they are, and to experience them, because the experience and emotion helps to create your reality. So the 10 of Hearts came out, being so in love with, and so in love and in such purpose, in such fulfillment with everything that you do on each and every basis, that you create this synergy around you, that where it's like your mind, your body, your energy is all on one accord, and it's all focused on what you want to accomplish in this lifetime, and helping you to build your legacy. And you're always feeling like you're supported emotionally from yourself. And with the 10 of Hearts, it's about connecting with your whole self, and from your whole self acting in that way. And the way to connect with your whole self is about being grateful in each and every moment, and projecting love out. And you have to love yourself, and you have to love yourself. You have to fully experience yourself by integrating the darkest sides of yourself all the time. Sometimes in this spiritual world, we always want to just preach light, light, light. It's like you just always want to be light. You just always want to be happy. You just always want to be just good vibes only. You know, that's this life that we live in. I only want good vibes only. I only want good energy around me. And the thing about it is that the truth of it all, there's no good energy, there's no bad energy, it's just energy. We decide that it's good and bad. You know, some energy may make us feel uncomfortable. It may trigger some things within us that we don't want to deal with, and that's the ones we call bad energy. But when we're in a place of being whole within ourselves, we recognize that there's no good, no bad energy, and that when we're around people, that we elevate. The 10 is about elevation. It's about not worrying about, I only have to be around high vibe people. You know, you have to think about that. Why do you only have to be around people who have high energy? Maybe because your energy is really kind of low and you're feeding off of these people. You have to really be honest with yourself. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But just being aware that what are you not dealing with, that your energy doesn't set the tone. And I feel like the 10 of Hearts is about setting the tone. Like, I am the all, you know, I am the energy, and that I don't come down when I'm around certain people. I'm this. I don't allow other people's energy and moods and emotions to dictate my mood, my energy, and my emotions and my actions. I'm in charge of this. And you don't feel like you need to change this person. You just naturally be yourself. And you naturally emulate this love out into the world, and you just feel it come back to you tenfold. So you, by just actively doing what you love, and you actively activate love all around you. And you naturally raise other people's vibration just by being around you. People can feed off you all they want, but it doesn't matter because you feed yourself. So let me know what you think about that reading of New Moon in Capricorn. And does it resonate with you? And kind of what shadows are you dealing with? If you feel like you want to share in the comments, feel free. If you feel you need help with dealing with your shadow self and working with your shadow self and healing your shadow self and just becoming the best version of yourself and accomplishing your greatest legacy, go to our website and book a discovery call and let's talk. I would love to talk to you to see if you're a fit for this community that we're building of sensitives who can be support for each other. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, and follow us on IG, Wellness Honey. If you have any questions, feel free to DM us on Instagram. You can send us a email at wellnesshoney@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. So until next time, peace.